other feel God, thank you so much for being part of this interview. So, can we start with how you started trading and what made you begin trading? Thank you.
All right. Nice being here, and it's a pleasure to be here as well.
Thank
All
you.
right. So I'm Other Flu God, and I'm a currency trader and a synthetic trader.
Yeah.
So yes, my journey is quite rough, right? I started trading in the year 2018, right? My uncle walked up to me and was like, "Okay, have you ever heard of the word Forex?" Right. So I was like, I don't really know what Forex is all about. So he sent me a few videos, right? And a lot of PDFs, right? PDFs file. So I went back home, read, watched the videos, and thought I understood everything, right? So I deposited few cash, right, to my broker, and then I lost everything that same day, right? Kept depositing and then blowing my account, right? So I think um, um, I kept studying, and then I came across a community of traders, right, who were doing far better than me. And then that was when I knew that, okay, I needed to, get into mentorship. I need to be mentored, right, to actually understand trading properly. So I got a mentor, right, enrolled for a mentorship, got a mentor, and then I think that was where I would say my trading journey started properly, right, with the right knowledge and everything, right. So um, getting a mentor actually made it a lot more easier for me, right? In terms of finding my edge and all of that, right? So over the years, um, I started rough, right? But over the years, it kept getting better, right? In terms of knowledge, in terms of understanding, and then in terms of profitability, right? I
Yeah.
began to get consistently profitable, right? From making few hundreds of dollars to making 1,000, 2,000, and more and more and more and more and more, right? So uh, that's how it is, right? And then we are finally here, right? So yeah, that's my journey in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's actually cool. So, you've been trading for over 5 years now. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. So, with your experience in trading, what made you become an IB?
Well, actually, I became an IB because people do walk up to me and ask, okay, what broker do you suggest I use, right?
Yeah.
Whenever they hear that I'm a trader, right, or whenever I'm in a community of traders, right, the next question they ask is, what broker, right, do you recommend that I use, right, to trade? And um, I don't just get that once. I get that consistently, right? From people I know, from people I don't know, right? And then I'll keep
Yeah.
recommending brokers, and then one day I just sat down and I was like, okay, I keep recommending this to people, right? I keep recommending these brokers to people. They don't even know me. These brokers don't even know me. They don't even know that I recommend them, right, to people out there, right? So why not take advantage of that and actually monetize that, right? So I don't just keep talking about brokers, right? And they don't even know that I exist, right? So I I got into the IB world, right, simply because I needed to make money from the information I was giving to traders out there, right? I mean, if you know that what I'm giving you, right, is actually good and legit, right, why not profit from it, right? I profit from it, you also profit from it, right? So I got into the world of IB, right, to profit from it, right? So now I don't I don't just recommend, right? I recommend and also gain commission for recommending that broker to you, right? So those are one of the things that, or one of the things that motivated me to, get into the world of IB.
Okay, so for the reason for this interview, you are an IB for W Market.
Yeah.
So can you tell us your experience so far in being an IB for W Market and what have you benefited from your experience so far?
Okay. Okay. Being an IB, right, for W Market, I think what's my experience so far, right, and what actually stood out for me is the commission, right?
Yeah.
Most brokers out there, right? Their IB, other their IB, they do offer low commission in terms of, let's say $6, some do offer $3, right, per commission. Some do offer $7, right? But I was going through W Markets, and then I saw $10 commission, right? That's actually huge, right? It's actually stood out compared to other brokers out there. It's actually stood out like miles ahead, right? So that alone, right, was one of the reasons why I said, okay, I'm going to get into W Market. I'm going to work with W Market, right? Being an IB for W Market, and then aside that, their customer service as well, right? They have the best customer service, right, in terms of not just being an IP, right, but also being a trader, right, that actually has an account with W Market, right? Yeah, they are going to be attended to, right, real quick, right? I tried out their emailing, right, and then made a complaint, and then within few minutes I was attended to, right? So it's actually what stands out for me, and then their structure as well, right? I love the structure, right? It has a very huge potential to be the best in the world, right? So that's actually what stood out for me.
I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you so much. I'm really, really glad that you're enjoying your experience so far. So now to my next question. There are a bunch of people that really would like to be IBs, but they don't have a strong following on social media platforms and their Telegram community. They don't even have the Telegram channel at all. And this is like discouraging them. So what is your take on that?
Well, I don't think having a large social media presence, right, is should be a reason why you shouldn't get into the IBO, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because you don't, to an extent, you don't really need large social media presence to do that, right? Take for instance someone like me, right? Um, Most of my social media presence is on Twitter, right? I have around 26,000 followers on Twitter and little community, right? I think we just got to 1,000 community on Telegram, right? And then I think on IG as well, 1,000 community on IG, right? So I don't even have a Twitter. I don't even have a YouTube page, right? So, but I still have people, right, that walk up to me and always ask for the best thing to do in terms of prop firms, in terms of brokers, and all of that, right? So one of the things that you need to have is a trusted community, right? Have people that trust you, right? If you have people that trust you, right, trust me, you're going to make money, right, in the world of IB, right? And I think W Market just made it much more easier to get more commission by offering $10, right, and based on commission. So having people who trust you, a circle who trust you, right, should be what you should be focusing on, right? Because once you get that, trust me, the more you keep recommending, right, the more people keep seeing the good side of what you're recommending, the more people will keep coming back, right, and recommending that product and coming back to thank you and then talking about the product to other people out there, right? So yeah, you just need to have a trusted circle.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. So, you've already talked about your experience so far in W markets, but want you to expatiate that and talk more on that because a lot of people might be interested in becoming an IB, as I said, and they feel the experience might be a bit complicated or hard to do, and they will not want to like do it because of they don't want to deal with the complicated part. So can you talk about like do you think it's so complicated to become an IB and what has your experience been so far? Yeah.
Well, it's not really complicated or hard, right? Whenever someone mentions the word IB, the people out there do think as though it's one bulky job or really, really complicated, right? I could remember when joining W
I'm so
Market, right?
sorry. I'm so sorry. I have an interview, so is it possible if I can do the interview, please? Because I'm recording it. Yes. Let me ask my question again. I'm so sorry about
Okay.
that. So some people might think being an IB is your nylon. Okay, some traders might complain that being an IB is like complicated and they don't want to set that up because it might be hard to set up. So I know you've spoken about your experience so far, but can you please like expatiate on your experience of becoming an IB from the sign up process and what you've been enjoying so far as a W Market IB? Can you please talk on that?
Okay, okay. So people do think as though being an IB is one hectic job or really, really complicated, right? I could
Yeah,
remember when joining W Market, right? It didn't take me up to 10 minutes, right? Setting up my IB account and all of that, right? I just got the link and then signed up, and then that was it. Not up to not up to 5 minutes, I would say, right? So being an IB is it's not a complicated job, right? Or it's not a complicated work to do, right? I would say if you should compare being a trader and being an IB, right? Being an IB is a lot more easier, one of the easiest things to do, right? Compared to being a trader, right? So um, and then for me, right, one of the benefits of being an IB is that whenever I'm done, right, with my commissions
when
and
people
everything,
just leave this place, you people are frustrating me now. Uh-uh. Sorry, please, can you come again?
okay, okay, okay. All right, can I go on?
Yes.
All right. So I would say, right, that being an IB, right, is not really a complicated process, right? I could remember when I was joining W Market, right? Um, it didn't take me up to 10 minutes, right, to set up my accounts after I received the link, right? I think within 5 minutes, I was done setting up my accounts and my IB accounts, right? And then I was already set to, start sending out my link out there, right? For people who always ask me the broker I use, right? I was already ready to send out my link out there for them to actually register with W Market. Right
Yeah.
now, one of the things that stands out for me, right, is the commission, right? Whenever I'm done, right, I'm being paid, right, and then aside that, I could actually track my growth, right, which is the people, how many people register using my link and all of that, right? So I could actually track my commissions and all of that, right? And then aside that, the customer service as well, right? Being an IB, right, actually helps in understanding how the blue markets really works in terms of fast response, right? Customer service response, and all of that. So it's actually a smooth ride. And if you are actually trying to get into the world of being an IB, right? I would recommend W markets, right? Because it's really, really smooth, right? It's really smooth. You do your part and then you are being paid, right? Now, the aspect of being paid, that is really, really guaranteed, right? That's actually guaranteed, right? So being an IB, most especially with the blue market, is the best, right? I have the best experience, right? And I would actually want you to join, right? If you're watching this, right? To those who are watching this, I would want you to actually take a step and actually register, be an IB with W market. You see for yourself, right? So yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. And now another concern that people might have is whether brokerage firms pay or not. So, how does W Market compare to other brokerage firms that are out there?
Yes, yes. Just like I said, right, from the commission, right? I think W Market offers the best commission, right, out there. $10. I mean, that's a lot, right? $10, right? So it's actually the best out there. Now, in terms of payments, right? Just like I said earlier, once you're done with your parts, right, which means you set up your account and then you recommend traders. You recommend W markets out there to traders, right? And then they register, deposit, and then trade, right? You get your commission. And over time, you get paid, right? The payment process very easy, right? It's smooth process, I must say, right? Within few minutes, your withdrawal process is done and then into your account, right? So it's the best out there. No stress, right? No stress, easy process, and yeah, that's it.
Exactly, and that's what makes it worth it because it's not aside from the high commissions. There's good customer service. Everything is swift, easy, and fast. So yeah. So for all you guys that are out there, please sign up now. So aside from being an IB, because a lot of people might say you are only promoting because we are getting like the commissions, but for W Market, as I would say, like a product, what keeps motivating you to keep promoting W Market?
Well, even if I'm not an IB, right, with
Yeah,
W Markets, right, I would still recommend W Markets, right. Reason is because of their structure, right. They have the best structure out there, and then for well, most traders might not really care about structures, right. All they want is do they have a good spread, right, and then I would actually say yes, they do have a good spread, a tight spread to be specific, right? And I think I had to test their spread during the market open hour, right? So
yeah,
let's say trader A is using a different broker, and then he held his trade over the weekend, and then I'm using W market, right? And then I also held my trade over the weekend, right? Really get his account slipped, and then right? While my position, right, would actually be profitable, right? My position is still going to be intact. Why? Because I'm not going to be slipped. My spread is actually tight, and my position will keep running, right? So to me, right, that's an advantage, right? Using W market, right? So that's why I said even if I'm not an IB for W market, I would still recommend them to traders out there, right? Because their spread is actually tight, right? And then their withdrawal process as well, right? Quite good, right? It's actually good, right? It's actually good. And then just like I said, the structure out there, right? They've put in place over time has made
yeah,
them stand out. I mean, with the W capital, right? The prop firm and all of that, right? So these structures that they've placed out there, right? I'm very, very certain that it's going to make them the best broker out there, right? In the world, right? So it's going to make them the best broker in the world, right? So their structure is actually legit, right? Actually clean and the best out there, right? So aside being an IB, right? It's user friendly, right? I mean, the platform and everything is user friendly, right? So yeah, that's it.
yeah. Thank you very much for that. So, what are you going to tell for someone that is probably on the fence? They're a good trader, but they're like on the fence in being an IB, what exactly would you tell them to know for them to know that actually being an IB is worth it?
Okay, what I'll tell you is for you who is watching, right, and actually sitting on the fence and all of that. Um, I think being an IB, right, should motivate you, right, in terms of adding another stream of income, right? Because um, just like I shared my experience, right, with W Markets, the experience is smooth, swift, right, quite easy to set up, right. So that should give you more confidence, right, to try out the world of IB, most especially with W Market, right? Because like me, right, you could also be a trader that people do come ask, okay, what broker should I use, and then you just tell them, and then that's it, right, without making any money, right? So take advantage of this, right? Just imagine you, right, not actually trading, right? Not placing a single position, but still waking up every morning, right? Making withdrawals, right, from the commissions you earn as an IB, right? So that's actually another stream of income for you. And that will actually lessen the stress, right, of looking for money to deposit here and there, pressuring your personal accounts and trying to trade and here and there, right? So that would actually lessen the pressure on that, right? So um try it, right, get another stream of income. I think that's the best way to approach trading as a career, right, so that it's not going to have a lot of pressure on you. Yeah, so yeah, go for it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Odafe, again. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for joining this interview. And as we finish, because we're about to finish, this is the last question. Do you have any last words for traders that are thinking of joining?
Okay, as an IB.
Yes, or joining, yes, joining as an IB, yes. or Willis Capital in general? Oh, sorry, as an IB.
Yeah. I would say, right, from my experience, right, it's smooth, right? So why not just join in, right? Join in and then you see it for yourself, right? In terms of spread, in terms of customer service, in terms of everything, right? Um, W Market offers the best, right? And I think from being a broker alone, right, being trading as a trader, right, on their broker on W Market broker alone, right, you're going to see how swift and easy everything is, right. So talk more of being an IB, right, for W Market, right. So you're going to enjoy the ride. It's going to be a smooth ride, and you're definitely going to enjoy it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Olafugo. Thank you so much for joining this interview. And I hope the best for you. Happy trades and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
all right. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Yeah, bye.